Hi everyone, welcome back to the Stoic Moment podcast, where we set some time aside to think about the ideas and philosophies of Stoicism and consider how these ancient concepts are meaningful to us here in our modern lives. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode 3, Action. In the first two episodes, we looked at the fundamental belief of Stoic philosophy, what Epictetus called the chief task, the dichotomy of control. Firstly, acknowledging, and secondly, accepting the difference between the things in our lives that we can control and the things that we cannot. When we put it like this, it's simple, but let's remember that simple doesn't mean easy. Come on, it doesn't work like that. They can be two completely different things. It's why we should view it as a process. We don't just blink and all of a sudden we're the person we always wanted to be. We set an aim and we work on the process. It's a lifelong endeavour in which we seek to live by the right sort of thoughts, ideas, and actions which are based on virtue, to do good. Positive actions aimed at enabling us to live happier lives, to pass that on to everyone around us. As Seneca put it, wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness. It's no easy task to look at a situation objectively and rationally, a greater challenge still to be able to conclude if it's something that we can control. Because all the while, our human hearts will want, and they will need, and they will desire. But if we can reach this point in our thinking, in accepting things for what they truly are, it's a freeing process. It lifts a burden off our shoulders. So what next? Suppose we've understood we can't change an outcome. Suppose we've even managed to accept the idea, even if it's grinding against our lifelong emotional reactions. What then? Then comes action. The Stoics would encourage you to focus and act on what you can, to make the best of the situation, to apply yourself only to what can be addressed and accept the rest for what it is, for what it must be. Often we have to overcome ourselves to achieve this. We have to get out of our own way. As Marcus Aurelius put it, concentrate every minute like a Roman, like a man, on doing what's in front of you with precise and genuine seriousness, tenderly, willingly, with justice, and on freeing yourself from all other distractions. Yes, you can. If you do everything as if it were the last thing you were doing in your life and stop being aimless, stop letting your emotions override what your mind tells you, stop being hypocritical, self-centered, irritable, you see how few things you have to do to live a satisfying and reverent life. That's from Marcus Aurelius' Meditations. Despite being over 2,000 years old, these words are as relevant today as the day they were written. It was a letter from Aurelius to himself, to remind himself as the Emperor of Rome that all he could do was focus on the elements of life which he could control and to act in the best possible manner. To do the right thing, to do it with justice, to do it with tenderness, not often a word associated with the emperors of Rome. He reminds himself to be free from distractions and to act on the task at hand. He looks at himself and sees his human potential for letting his emotions take the wheel. He admits to himself that he, just like all of us, can be hypocritical, self-centered, irritable, and he knows that these are not helpful ways to be. Just as Aurelius spoke to himself in this way, so can we. It takes courage to look at ourselves in this way, but if we're brave enough to look inward with honesty, we see that we're all capable of being distracted, being irritable, and as much as we wouldn't like to admit it, hypocritical. We can be aware of this. We can catch it and nip it in the bud. It's a process. It doesn't happen instantly. But the best part is, it can start today. It can start right now. Think about this chief task. See what's in front of you and make a decision on what is yours to control. The rest can be cut away and discarded like cookie dough. And now all you're left with is the center, the very thing you can influence, the part you wanted all along, and the rest is filler. And when you arrive at this, focus on what's in front of you, make the decision to apply yourself, to take action, with effort and seriousness, with humility and tenderness, with kindness and compassion, for yourself and others, because you've got this. And when you act with virtue, you and all around you will feel the benefit. And that's it for today's show. Thank you so much for tuning in. We hope you'll join us next time on another episode of the Stoic Moment podcast.